Hey, how's it going? We're going to be doing an overview of the patches. I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail just because some of it's a little bit iffy on the translations and there's just so much. So I am sorry if I miss out some crucial bits of information, but I will try my best to do a strong overview. So let's start off. The Z assist can now be selected from 3 types. So you've got 3 assists to choose for each character. These usually are A assist, B assist, C assist. A assist being the current assist, B assist being a special move that's usually fast or just one that's usually just normal, and then the C assist is a combination move or a tracking move or maybe even a beam move, which can on hit lead up to a follow up. Now the C assist is the strongest of the assists in general, however has a longer cooldown, and it looks to be like twice as long a cooldown as A or B, so you'll have to be very careful on your assist selection. But I do like the fact that they're not afraid to put in assists that are stronger than the current sort of top tier assists and then give them sort of like a different penalty for being that strong. So it's a good idea. Interesting to see what happens throughout these. I will mention when the actual current assists have been buffed, because they've not just left them alone either, which is good. Limit break X superpower. This is when you're down to your last character, you get a 10% damage buff, you get 1 meter gain, and the blue life that if you attack your opponent while you're the last character, the blue life is less, so it gives your opponent less chance to just keep regaining the health back that they've lost when they've got basically a character lead. And it also speeds up games. A lot of these changes that you're about to see, although they may seem strong, they want the games to be faster overall, so the bust ass is maximized. They've removed fuzzies, and with the sounds of some of it, almost looks like universal fuzzy may be removed as well, as they're doing it so that if just before the end of a jump you are hit by something, the jump is no longer counted as airborne, so basically the block animation frames won't be counted as block animation frames for airborne attacks, so you won't get that increased block stun, which means universal fuzzy may be off the table. However, we're very creative and we may find another way of doing it. Dominance gauge, this is the thing in the top middle of the screen. Blue or red means player 1, player 2, and obviously depending on what side it's on, the team's winning or losing. Basically, it's basically, I think it's done combined off the health of the characters, but they may be more into it. Maybe they do the meter and all that as well, but I don't know. Key charge has been buffed. You can now absorb key blasts, and you can also super dash out of it. But I think they have nerfed the startup on the how much gauge you get, so you may get gauge a little bit slower at the start. You can now, after vanish, essentially do super dash or in a special. This is so that if in some awkward situations where you don't have the room or the ability to continue after the vanish smash, you can now just super dash or special straight away, and you'll always get an ideal follow-up, so you don't lose your turn or lose the opportunity for attack. Dragon Rush has been changed. You can now tech grab, which is just a weak attack. So any weak version can now be ticked into Dragon Rush. So expect people to sort of be a little bit more on guard after a jab. You'll be seeing a lot more vanishes, a lot more super dashes to try and get out of the pressure, because it's just such a strong mix-up. So now doing like 5L into 2M is a real mix-up for a lot of characters, because if they're trying to get out at the tick grab, they're going to get punished. So it's just going to change the meta, how it's done. It's bad news for me because I'm terrible at teching as is, especially online. There's change snap. You can now delay when you come out, but you'll come out a lot faster now. This is an indirect nerf to some characters that rely on snap, such as 18. She may have to change her set play routines or completely have different set play altogether, or just avoid snap in general and just go for the knockdown and then continue pressure from there. But there is a nerf to a lot of characters in doing this. Special moves are now half a bar. They've nerfed a lot of special moves to compensate for that. They've buffed heavy attacks in damage as well, especially in the air, so they'll do more damage. So if you've got a short air series or something, or a combo route that's not quite as long as some of the grounded ones. They've buffed the damage, or so it says, so they say they have. I don't know how much that is, but they say they have. We're also trying to remove a lot of the recovery frames from landing after a heavy smash, and certain moves like 2H and Freezer and Zamasu, so that you can do your actions quicker. So that's an interesting change. I don't know what this one is. We'll have to wait until the patch comes out or somebody gets a better translation. It just says offensive attack level has been increased. So maybe that just means that it goes through more things, or, you know, I'm not too sure. Goku, just to go through the character changes, Goku, his 2M is now a different 2M. It's got longer startup, but it moves further, so it's going to just look different. Whether it's an overall nerf or buff, I'm edging on the side that it's an overall nerf, because it was one of the best normals in the game. But we'll have to wait and see. His beam assist on the ground is now does more damage, and has faster recovery. So you'll have to be aware of that one. What's the but it doesn't last as long, so it's not, you know, he doesn't get that time of where it's out to hope you fall into it or block it so that you can follow up. It could also mean that vanish and stuff from these attacks no longer jails and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that we'll need to test out. It's probably not the case, but we'll see. Vegeta, basically he's pretty much the same. He's had his DP so he can change sides and whatnot, and his 2M's a little bit better at hitting things, although I think it's had its damage scaling hit, which is fair because it is a very, very strong 2M. They are saying that the strong version of Crusher Kick, you can now follow up after, which is really good, because at the moment it's really difficult unless you're max range to get a follow up. So yeah, I think Vegeta's been buffed overall. Whether we'll see him outside of Fenriti and Hook, not 100%. Piccolo's been buffed. He's now actually got proper DPs, even in the medium and the weak and medium versions, and his shoulder now has better tracking on small characters. His assist has been massively buffed because it's obviously subject to being hit by Super Dash. They've given him 2 orbs now that she fires out one after the other. I believe it's got a faster startup as well, and I think the bigger. So, you know, he might be getting 2 more assists, but for me, his first assist, unless you're desperate for lockdown, still might be the best assist for Piccolo. Team Gohan's had a lot of changes. They've made his bomb loops easier, which is a bit of a shame. He's had a lot of, like, his air legs medium version can now be followed up with an assist a lot easier. You don't need like certain assists because they go to the other side of the screen. They don't do that anymore. The blowback's been changed, so they're closer to him on hit. EX legs has been nerfed. Obviously with it only costing half a bar now, it's no longer as plus on hit. Even his auto combo has been nerfed. He's got a lot more rigidity on landing, which means more recovery frames. He has been sort of nerfed by quite a bit. He gets a bomb. He basically gets a bomb, and he gets legs as his other assists, as far as we're aware. How good that is, not too sure. He's probably super dashable through, so I don't think people are going to be picking the bomb. However, you don't know. He's also got better level 5 Oki, but we don't know what that means until we get our hands on it. Frieza, I think Frieza's had some of the stronger changes, not the strongest, but you know, you can't go through his Air 2S anymore. His jump 2M's got better hit. Oh, that's the same with Piccolo as well. Pretty much any character that's got a double hitting jump normal, which is usually jump medium, they're all better at hitting the opponent if the first one hits. So that's going to be good for him. Golden Frieza, you can now cancel it, which is big, but that's not the biggest change for me. The biggest change for Golden Frieza is if you activate Sparking while Golden Frieza's active, or even before it's active, but basically while Sparking's up, Golden Frieza will not end. So you can activate Golden Frieza, and then just as you think it's about to run out, you can strategically pop Sparking and extend the duration for as long as the Sparking lasts. This makes him a very, very scary anchor. One of the scariest in the game, especially now we can throw out the EX pillars, and they do so much damage. And he can super dash from the vanish. He he's Freezer's. I'm just calling it now. Freezer's on my list. I mean, I already played Freezer, so I'm excited. He's on my list as being one of the strongest characters in season 3 for sure. A lot of people are gonna have to learn all this stuff. Um, just watch out for this one. They've also buffed his air 2H, so it's a little bit better, like at hitting people, just a lot smoother, and better for breaking people's guard, and he can like action after it's on hit as well, after the sliding knockdown, so he can do his discs quicker and things. So just lots of little things just to make using him easier. Ginyu, I'm not going to go through all. I don't really play Ginyu, but basically all of his calls and assists have been made a lot more versatile, whether it's through damage or the hit stun on them, easier to combo from, things like that. His assists look really interesting. He's got a new level 3. I'm super excited to see what the level 3 looks like after you've done the body swap, because apparently there's a different animation. That's going to be interesting to see. Other than that, everything about Ginyu has literally been buffed. So even his shoulder charge, his strong jersey, all the versions of it have been buffed in some way. His assist has been buffed, his A assist. Whether you'd pick that over calling the squad, I don't know. Ultimately, all I'm going to say is expect a lot more Ginyu in Season 3. He's going to be a character that either you're going to want to use or you're going to want to know how to play the matchup against, because I'm telling you, like, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem, especially now you can tick throw Dragon Rush as well. He's already pretty good at sneaking it in. Now he's going to be able to sneak it in even better. I don't know. Mistakes were made on this one, honestly. Trunks is the same, really. Like, it's easier to connect level 1s. His air routes are better now, so through, like, if you're doing a little bit more hit stun on his normals, and they're faster as well. His heavy normals are faster in the air, so he can, after a lot of hits in a combo, he's going to be able to do more in the air, which is really good news if you like your combos, and he's just going to have more routes, which is really good. The Cyclone thing, he can now go up and down. It's going to look flashy and stuff, but ultimately I don't think it's going to change too much. Change the future is still going to be one of the best special moves in the game. They've made it now that assists don't absorb the what's it called, the smash effect on it as well, so you'll be able to follow up easy with assists or vanish easier and things like that. So I expect Trunks to be better than he was in Season 2, but not like, he's not just going to jump straight up to the top of the tier list. It really depends on how oppressive his jump heavy becomes, because they've increased the speed of jump heavy, and it's already one of the best jump normals in the game. So we'll just have to see on that one. Cell, they've changed him a little bit. They want him to use Rolling Crush to open people up, so you're going to have to be constantly on guard against that. And if you use the heavy version of it, it'll swap sides, so you can steal the corner and things like that. Oh, pardon me. If he holds his meter in his bar and things like that, he'll do more damage, but it's not anything crazy. Android 18, they've made her grabbing a bit better. As I said before, her snapback game's way worse. So I think that's why they've buffed her command grabs. I don't know how much they've been buffed by, how crazy is it, but they needed to do something, because as it stands, she got a massive nerf with the snap changes. Also with Android 17 call, she's got different follow-ups if she's against a solo opponent, so you can still use it, and it's been adjusted for the meter games, so even though it's spammable, it's probably not quite as strong as it was, but it still looks very good. Very good. It looks like it's easy to combo off and things like that, but they've just not made it like it's just brain dead. Just every single time you let me just use it. So that's good. Gotenks hasn't had too many changes. He's like a lot of the ones where they've got the hold button for heavy. They've got it where they do more damage. Ginyu's was a little bit interesting because there was a thing in the notes saying you can't guard standing against his charged heavy, which is a really strange one. I don't know if that's lost in translation or true, but I'm scared. Yeah, so he does more damage from that. They've made it so his normals link a little bit easier, his auto combos a little bit easier. So you're going to be seeing a lot more after the vanish, dash forward into auto combo into his donut loops. They've made the donut easier to combo into as well, especially from the assist point of view. I'm a little bit sad about that because, you know, it's nice seeing people who are skilled at using these things and then they just sort of remove it / take it away, which is a shame. They want you to use Miracle Super Punch against Super Dashes, and they want you to use Rolling Special Kick against just random air normals. They seem to have done that, and you can cancel them in and out of other special moves. I don't know which special moves, I don't know whether it's just each other, or whether you can do Diodine Missile Barrage and things like that, but without buffs to Diodine Missile Barrage and anything like that, I just don't see... I don't see much of a gameplay, a game style change with him. It just looks the same to me, really. So yeah, he's still going to be a good character. Oh, that was another one that was quite big actually. If you hold the button on the revenge shout, you might be able to do a falling normal, like a falling M or something, like do a quick overhead afterwards. But when you land, there'll be lag. So you're not really going to get that high-low anymore, but you will be able to tag them with an overhead afterwards if they're not being careful. Krillin's been massively buffed, so if you're a Krillin fan, you should be quite excited. He can now basically throw unlimited of the Senzu beans to heal you and your party, but the stones no longer go through, Super Dash no longer goes through the stones, so you're probably going to be throwing out the rocks a hell of a lot more, and this includes his assist as well, and the assist has been buffed to 2 rocks, so essentially, I don't know what the angles are on those rocks, but I don't know anymore. Like, you think you pick his beam and stuff, but the rocks are going to be good. He's going to be able to use rocks in pressure now. I don't know. Like, he's going to be good. He's going to be... Oh, yeah. He's Solar Flare as well. It says it chases automatically on hit. I don't know what that... I honestly don't know what that means. I mean, it's already a good move. They've buffed his after images a little bit, it looks like, so he can keep his aerial action after vanish move. I don't know. Krillin looks like he's got the buffs that he kind of needs. I mean, people think that this character was bad, but he was never bad. It was just his assist was always awkward to use, and you could super dash through the rocks. Now you can't. Like, you're just going to be against... Like, Krillin's one of those characters where he's going to be so strong, and then you're going to get people that know how to do his level 3 high up into the air. So like if you got Gotenks or like another character air like something, and you can combo into his level 3, you can't see your character and he's jumping over you and mixing you with after image and stuff before you've even got up off the floor. So they've removed GT Goku and then they've added Krillin to the game. Like, honestly, that's how I see it. That's literally how I see it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Not sure about this one. He's going to be good. He's going to be playable for sure. Kit Buu's not really changed too much. They have nerfed him. They've nerfed Buu Ball. They've also nerfed his jump medium, so that if you do jump medium now and then you try and fall with a light attack, the light attack is no longer an overhead. So the only overhead will be medium into heavy. This is a pretty big nerf actually. A lot of the Kit Buu players just mindlessly try and zerg it all out, you know, but you'll now be able to kind of react to that, and you'll have to actually mix people properly. Will he be a good character still? Absolutely. There's some quality of life changes in here. They've increased damage on certain things. They've made Candy Beam better. They've basically done how balancing the game should be. They've not just nerfed the character and said, oh, whatever. They've balanced him. So whether he's still too good, not too sure. Still got one of the best assists in the game as of right now. But with these C-type assists coming in, the dynamic, the meta will change. Majin Buu's an interesting one. They've just made him easy to use overall. We won't know until we get into the game what the changes mean, because they've changed things like cartwheels, like they've increased the startup and things. Will that change his routes in terms of especially his corner routes? They've changed his down medium as well. We really don't know if anything's changed too much. All we do know is that they've definitely nerfed the speed of his heavy forward roll die thing because of the meter changes, which is necessary because it was crazy. So Majin Buu, is he going to be good? I think he'll be good. I just think the fact that he's so easy to hit with no armor and things like that really, although he's disgusting in the mix department, I think it's difficult. Also, if you're doing the command grab, not command grab, the tick throw thing that he has, they've nerfed the damage on that as well, so you won't be able to get touch of deaths off that anymore. It's just going to have scaling from like classic damage scaling from grabs. I still think Majin Buu will be high tier. I don't see anything in these that are just going to make him ridiculous. They've also buffed his level 3. Like, again, there's lots of changes in here. Like, they've buffed his level 3 now. It actually is a level 3. They've increased the damage and the minimum damage. Doesn't say by how much, but we can assume it's at least 100 to 200, which is really good. And they've also increased the speed at which it comes out, which is also good for making it easier to combo with other assists. His A assist has been buffed as well. Now, I already thought his A assist was actually one of the most underrated assists in the game because of where he spawned and the hit region of it. It was like a really big region. If you could play a character like Kid Buu or 21 that really didn't mind that hit region, very, very good. But they've now made it come out faster. So, yeah. He does have fat throw assist. That's all I'll say. He has fat throw assist. So Majin Buu, depending on how meta fat throw assist is, might be a very staple sort of in a team thing. Might be very meta. Not gonna go over Nappa. Don't like the character. Don't understand anyone that plays him. He just looks ugly. Looks clunky. Nope. Not even gonna go over him. Android 16. Love Android 16. I don't think there's enough here to make him pickable. They have buffed his A assist, and we'll have to see whether his B or C assist are strong enough to make him a good anchor. But as it stands at the moment, I don't see any changes here that would make him back into the, sort of top tiers again. Don't think it's a bad thing. I think he's going to be able to combo easier after landing his command grabs and things like that. However, is he better than Broly? When you look at Broly's changes, I don't think you're going to be picking him over Broly. I just don't see it. I'm going to still try him out, and I do love the character. I think he's really good to watch, but when you see the changes for Broly and stuff, you're going to be like, and even base Goku, you're probably going to be picking them over 16. Yamcha's got a lot of stuff that I really don't understand because I'm not too much into the character, so you'll have to go into there. But from what I've seen, they've just made it easier to combo into his stuff and better to anti-air with his DP. That's just it, really. That's literally just it. There's a lot going on here, but a lot of it really is just to say he's just easier, and he's just a little bit more fluidity to his wreckers. The one thing I will say is with the meter adjustments, and I don't think they've nerfed his Wolfang Fist. He might be one of the best in the game, just because he's going to be able to do that so much more often. Tien's my sleeper pick for season 3. I think nobody's really going to be paying too much attention to him, but I actually think the meter changes really benefit him. He's going to be able to do his overhead crane thing a lot more, and they've changed how the follow-ups work, and it's going to be a lot easier. He's just a damage powerhouse. He's going to be able to do his armor move a lot more. They've basically buffed his because I'm not too sure what some of these things are, like supernatural power. I think that's calling Chaozu in, but apparently they've reduced the recovery. They've increased how much it does on hit, like the active frames on hit, and they've also increased the energy gauge and things like that. They've also buffed his beam assist. I think Tien is one of the things that not many people are really going to be looking at him at the start of the season because there's a lot more hyper characters. But for me, if you're just looking for a really good solid character, especially an anchor with the anchor changes, just the universal changes, and how he's going to be able to just basically just splurge meter everywhere, I think he's going to be a really decent character. Another thing as well is his 2M's been buffed. So his 2M now goes further a bit more, I believe. So again, very good character. He's had a couple of nerfs here and there. Hit region on standing on his final attack's been increased as well as his auto combo, and it was already annoying. So we'll see. He can't do his spark loops with 2H anymore, but that's a universal change, so anybody that was using that strong has been, like, it's already gone. They've changed Adult Gohan's medium and heavy DP. I really, from the notes, really don't understand it. I think you have to see it, but it looks a little bit different. Maybe they've made it so it's easier to punish or something, but on hit it's changed. They've changed heavy legs now, less damage, not as plus anymore, more landing lag, things like that. Can't do his 2H spark loops anymore. However, you know, I think they've added some things to his level 7 as well. Yeah, I don't see anything too crazy with Adult Gohan, basically. Here, I couldn't translate the move name, so I do apologise. But his A assist, his current assist has been massively buffed. It's basically like one of the best immunity moves there is now. And they've made it so like some of his standing attacks are a bit better. His overhead's better. In terms of not faster or anything like that, but it's just it knocks him down a bit longer, gives him a bit more time to keep his turn, and also on hit easier to juggle, I believe. So there's another one, because he does a lot of damage from that in juggles. They've buffed his counter as well, which is interesting. And another thing, this is a universal thing, if you've got a move that has like a special animation and damage, and you can like do it once and then call an assist, then do it again, they've removed that. So if it happens a second time for a lot of these characters, instead of, you know, allowing you to follow up with another assist afterwards and then continue the combo, or just like Dragon Rush and then end it again, they're doing it now so that you'll just do a heavy kick and just end it. So that they're really trying to remove these very long touch of death sequences where you can even get a touch of death from a light punch or something. They're just trying to avoid that. So I've not it may have been from one of these previous characters, I've not mentioned it, but be aware if you're doing like Cell's double command grab or loads of like rolling crush perfect attacks or something, be aware that they may have changed it now that it no longer works. Blue Goku, really not many changes. That, like, he's already a pretty strong character. His 2M, he's still gonna have one of the best 2Ms in the game, and they've buffed his A assist, but everything else is like they've just made the command grab a little bit better, a little bit more range on it, but that may be all he needed, to be honest. I think he's still going to be quite high tier, and with the introduction of using EX moves for half a bar, he's going to be able to command grab and do his side switching shoulder charge a lot easier. Disappointed with the Vegeta changes. I love Vegeta Blue, but basically they're doing it so that his level 5's better, they're doing it so his command grab's faster, but still has to hit standing opponents, so that's rough. Done his 2M's better at hitting things, but they may have nerfed the damage scaling on that. They've made his Ki Blasts better on hit, maybe better on block as well, which is interesting if it's better on block, because he was already plus if he air dashed into them, so he may be super plus. It maybe that's like what he really puts his neutral over, but no Rekka changes. This is an interesting change to his Niagara Pummel. If you've already used Smash, there's a different thing now. Normally it just that's it, but now if you hold down the camera when not producing, or increase passive time when not producing camera, you may still be able to go Smash, Niagara drop, and then continue on after. Really difficult to say. We just don't know. We'll have to get in. I'm not going to get excited about it because it could just be nothing, but who knows. And we also don't know the level 5 situation. We don't know what that means. We don't know what the Oki situation is. Is it like insane Oki? Is it like Android 21 Oki, or is it just, oh, you gotta jump in, you know, even if you're mid screen? Is he gonna be any better? No. Just to be honest with you, just changing his assists, having B and C assist, is probably enough to make me continue playing him. The A assist has been buffed, but it's not been buffed in the right way. It's basically just increased its damage. That's it. It needed a change on its blowback properties, but we'll see. Beerus, I'm not going to go into him too much, but they've improved these normals somewhat. They've made his 2H go forward a little bit, I think. instead of backwards. Not too sure. Like there was something in there about being. Yeah, I started to move forward on crouch. Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one, but they've made his orbs better. They do more damage. They've got a better hitbox. They're still not. You can't get through the super dash on them, but they've made his heavy attack better. They've made his drop slam thing, whatever it is. That now causes a ground bounce, and they've increased the damage on all except the heavy version, which has had its damage reduced. But I think he can now solo combo with the heavy one. So yeah, he's got lots of things in here. His assist is better as well. Is it going to move him up on the tier list? It's not going to move him down, you know, because other characters being buffed. I think he's just going to have the same use. You know, people who like Beerus will continue to use Beerus. I wouldn't expect him to be taking any, like, you know, he's not going to become meta though. Goku Black's been buffed. He's 2Ms faster. So it doesn't move him further forward, he's just faster. He can now go 2S into 5H, 2H, things like that, so he can actually stagger specials in block string, key blasts in block strings, which is good against reflect mash and things. Other than that, nothing too crazy, to be honest with you. I just think he's just going to be a good anchor in the game. I think Goku Black is now. SSJ Goku's going to be nerfed. People are going to be looking for an anchor, and I think between Vegeta, Goku Black, Tien, which people aren't looking at now, but they will be, Yamcha, maybe 16 if he's good enough. Gotenks is a really good anchor. Trunks, Frieza. There's essentially there's going to be so much more option for people to pick a character they want because they're the 3 assists, which is great news. 21, who's always going to be on my team no matter what. She's had. I can't believe they've not nerfed her level 3, but we don't know if there's a stealth nerf there. If she still keeps her level 3, it's going to be insane. She gets slide knockdown now. They've made her command grab faster, and she gets slide knockdown now. They've made her Kamehameha type ball, the same as her assist one, which was buffed. That's basically faster as well, and it's got better hitbox, so that's better. I'm just thrilled to bits and can't wait to get in the lab with 21. Like, no matter what happens, 21's going to be on the squad. They've made it so level 3, the grounded one, she gets all 4 special moves if she doesn't have any, or or any that's left over she fills up with the type of whoever you ate or tried to eat, so that's really cool. Not many changes for Bardock. Like I said before, you know, Bardock could do the enhanced, his elbow thing, his lariat, I don't know what you call it, but he's basically, it was plus on block if he charged it. You could do them multiple times in a combo to kind of like cheese damage. Can't do that anymore. If you do it more than once in a combo, he'll just knock the opponent away. So you're gonna have to change some of your TOD routes, but again, it all looks really sort of simple. They've nerfed his lariat, his full screen lariat, so it's going to be harder to use and things like that. It probably doesn't jail anymore from a key blast and whatnot. Yeah, so just Bardock's going to be Bardock. Not going to change. Like, you're still going to see Bardock everywhere. He still looks very similar to me. Broly. This character was so strong, and you'd think they'd probably nerf him, but nope. He got buffed, which is fine. It's fine that he got buffed, but you know, now fuzzies are gone and things like that. It's a bit scary. So it's easier to use his attacks now. Better hit regions on his stand light and things like that. Gets more damage from charging strong heavy. His key blast now hits crouches. Yeah. So you know when you did key blast before and it went over people because they were close. Nope. A small character opponent is now hit by standing. So it's just better. If he gets a smash from his down heavy, gets more time to do supers and things like that. Lariat's been. This is really weird. Lariat Express adjusted blow off to match the strong version. Very difficult to know, but like, if he hits them, does he now generate a camera effect even off light? That doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to assume like not much has changed here. They've nerfed his level 3, the slow one, so that he doesn't get as much damage, but they wanted to do that anyway. That's a universal thing. He looks like he might actually get a combo off his medium grab mid scream. Yeah. His power shell's better. His assist has been buffed. Yeah, like Broly's good. Broly's probably top 5 this patch. Looking at these changes, not too much for Vegito without actually going into the lab and checking it out, because a lot of it's just we've made adjustments that make things easier, and so like he can combo off his 2S now without needing the smash, and it may be even the case for, I mean he already can from his air one with super dash and things, but it's interesting. It's interesting. They've made his split finger shot better. It's got a better hitbox on it, especially as the assist. And this is actually it's a pretty decent assist. It can still be super dash through, but they've increased how long you the hit stun is and things like that, which is huge for comboing. Like absolutely huge for making combos and stuff. And it already did decent amount of damage. So I don't know. This is the most confusing thing. For me, Spirit Excalibur, reduce long range damage and increase short range damage, okay. Increase minimum guaranteed damage, okay. Adjusted blow off except for the last stage, like what's this? Slide down except for the last stage, increase the duration of the last attack. Like this is Vegito, right? Like, is this his final Kamehameha? You know, is it his air one or something? Increase the duration of the last attack. The final stage must hit forward and below a certain height. See, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't understand this. Has he got a new move? It feels like he's got a new move, but they would have said that. So yeah, I'm not too sure. It's kind of tough, but he's a good character anyway. He can tick throw off Dragon Rush as a universal change. He's got his air command grab. I still think Vegito's going to be around. There will be people that like him using him. Zamasu's not changed much. His ground key blast is better. His air key blast better. Other than that, really not much has changed. As far as I'm aware, they did in the same freezer treatment with his jump down heavy, but that's it. Like very few changes. Base Goku, he can now do the Kamehameha dive and then follow up with the specials. So his supers are going to do about 200 to 300 more minimum damage, which is a huge buff, especially solo with the things. He's going to be a really good mid slash anchor. I'd still have a mid, just because I feel like he's so good with an assist, and he's even better now with an assist because they've buffed his command grabs so that they're much easier to use into an assist. So they've also buffed the direction that the opponent falls from his elbow attacks from the medium and strong versions, because they're supposed to be comboable, and they're even better at being comboed now. So yeah, nothing but buffs from him. His Spirit Ball, you can also Z change straight away, so he doesn't have to super dash up. So you can Spirit Ball and then call in 21 or something, and then she can follow up from the air, which is she's really good at. Which is really good, by the way, like really good. It is a good change, because if he has to go up there, he's just going to go up there and do a magic series and then back down. That's it. Then you have to tag in your character. Now you can just tag in your character. You don't have to lose Oki or anything like that. Doesn't slow the flow of the game down. Oh, this is also, I forgot about this one. His grounded version of Kamehameha, they've reduced the recovery frames and increased damage. It's just a buff, just a flat out buff. And I think this is to compensate for the fact that Gogeta's literally got the same Kamehameha at the press of one button. But it's massive. It's massive for a character that's going to get so much damage from time stream times 20, even if it is just off a Kamehameha. Yeah, they've also buffed his A assist, so they've made it easier to combo from. I don't think that was necessary at all, but hey, whatever. Vegeta's better now as well. He was already a very strong character, but like for instance, his last hit of auto combo's got invincibility to jump ins. I don't know why they've done that. It feels like they've just thrown that in anyway, because I don't think it's going to get used much, but it's going to be really annoying when it happens to you. They've made his key blasts better. They've made it so he can angle his key blasts. They've made it so that his strong dash kick is actually an invincible reversal now, so you can do it frame 1, but it's not invincible after he's started the animation. Sorry, after he's changed sides. So when he changes sides, you can still hit him. He's not invincible, but the initial teleportation is, I believe, by the sounds of it, as I said, has been advanced. So it's no longer like frame 3 or 4 or whatever it was. It's now frame 1. He's just basically, he's going to just dash kick as a defensive maneuver. So you'll have to really practice on getting that. They've also buffed his ground grab, and they buffed the supers after it. They really want this to be a part of his game plan. They really want you to use this ground grab a lot more. They want you to use it in combos. It's as simple as that. So the character was already good. They've also buffed his A assist. He's just basically better now. He was better than he was, and so is Base Goku. So both these characters, both these DLC characters are better than they were. Really not much for Cooler. Like, not hardly anything at all. His assist is a little bit better. His Ki Blast is a little bit better. Other than that, literally nothing. But he's already a solid character, so it's understandable. 17's got a lot of things. His third part of his auto combo is now invincible to low attacks. His weak attacks, his stand light and both down light are both better at catching opponents out of the air and then easier to juggle from if they do. His standing attacks, plus so he's both basically his 5M and his 2M are both better, and his 5M's faster, which is crazy. His Ki Blasts are better. He can now, his reverse gears are better. Apparently, if you do the EX reverse gear, or you can just, or maybe you spend a bar on the counter, you can beat both the normal supers and the level 3 supers. And I'm scared. I am so scared, to be honest with you. Oh, Link's turned up. Link, are you scared as well? Pair twice if you're super scared. I'm scared. So I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if that's, you know, he's just doing his records, then he just hits the EX version of the absorb. He can absorb super moves as well, because that was one of the ways I kind of dealt with it, was just by just doing a super as soon as I seen him messing around with the wreckers. But now you're gonna have to be really honest. And his sort of his little air dash thing, he can go up into the air with it, and then I believe it is, yeah. So you can do the ground version, go into the air, and then you can cancel at any point and fly at them. And they've reduced the recovery. Little bit of a buff to his A-type assist. Nothing too crazy though. So yeah, 17's probably on the character select screen though, for sure. Jiren's actually, a lot of people didn't think he got buffed that much, but his counter now counters assists, so it's the same as Janemba's. The problem with that is, although it counters against it, but it does say it's changed the hit effect when directing the camera. So if that's the case, they may have changed that you can't just vanish out now when he, you know, goes in to grab you. It's a different effect. So if he zooms in now, you can't vanish out. It could be very much like Janemba, which means he's a very good defensive character. And against someone like Ginyu or something like that, you're going to want someone like Janemba. They've increased his damage from certain things. His parry is no longer just the light ones mid attacks and the medium ones low attacks. It's just the light one is both all attacks except for obviously throws and grabs and jump ins. And the medium one and the heavy one just give better reward on hit. I think you get maybe more meter, or you get a better follow up. It's one or the other. It's really hard to. Oh no, they've done it for both actually, on the weak one. So yeah, I just think the heavy version stuff, you just get a better follow up. Essentially, you're still gonna have the problems with the fact that he doesn't really have a good block string. His command grab's still the same speed. I can't believe they didn't give him like, maybe like, it's, what is it, 26 now? Maybe they could have like made it 22 to 24 on his command grab, but he's still going to be a pretty good sort of character. I don't know. I still think Jiren's not going to be. He's still going to be in the lower half of the cast, but in specific matchups, sounds like he's going to be pretty good. They've buffed his assists as well. Well, he's one assist. They buffed it so it tracks. So yeah, he's definitely not bad. I'm not going to say too much. Oh, he's down heavy in the air, is better as well, and easy to use in combos. Videl, not going to say too much about Videl because it's really hard to translate these things. But basically, she's got a lariat now with EX kick. It's had its horizontal range greatly increased. Saiyaman she can use more often. Her standing light better. It's already really good, by the way. Her standing light's really good. It's got a great angle on it, but she goes forward on the first instance of it. Jump down. She can now. It says increase time to slide down, so I don't know if that means it's going to hit them and then go sliding, whereas at the moment if it just hits them they just go splat and that's it. I don't even think you can super off of it, so you might be able to either get a combo off of it with an assist, or if she's close enough she can combo off of it, or it's just if it lands you can now super a little bit easier. Again, something that you need to go in the lab and done it. It says here Justice combination added invincibility to grenade. I think grenades like Kamehameha level strength things. I really don't know what it is, but it's just saying to increase the use. Again, I'm gonna have to get in there to see that. Moonsault kick, adjusted bluff doing camera production, so I think they want it so that she can now do her overhead and then continue comboing after without spending meter, which is really cool. Made a command grab a little bit better, but again she still has to catch crouches. This isn't her issue. Like, Broly doesn't have to worry about are they standing or crouching. That's why he's so good. He's just like, I'm just doing it. Oh, there's Link. He's gone off. Where is he? And he's gone. Made her assist a bit better. No changes to her DP, which she needed. She needed a faster DP. No changes to her dodge. So she's probably now the worst character in the game, sadly. With this patch, I think she's actually the worst in the game. GT Goku's the same, pretty much. They've nerfed his Spirit Bomb. They've nerfed. I don't think after he does the orb, I don't think he can air dash anymore. So that's a really good change, but not 100% on that one. It just says after the ground version of the attack, go down significantly. So maybe you just have to do the air one. So you can't. So basically, you can't block string into it and then do it, or he'll have to find a way of. It won't be a block string. He'll be able to do it not in a block string, but in a reflectable string where he goes up on his pogo, then does it. But then it's reflectable. But if he does the grounded version straight from a grounded string, he can no longer keep his air action, and he'll go back down to the floor. So it's a good change. It's a good change. But other than that, doesn't get level 3 anymore. Okay, but he does get the damage from it, and he will just delete characters. They've nerfed the damage from it, but he can still do level 3 and then do follow-ups. So yeah, he's still gonna be good. He's basically still gonna be top 5 even after this patch. Maybe not top 5, top 10 maybe after the patch. For sure, he's still definitely going to be good. Not many changes to Janemba really. Better key blasts, more key blasts I believe, better sword. Actually going to be quite obnoxious thinking about it. Like, he's going to be difficult to play against because one of his biggest weaknesses was when he did his shining slash sword or whatever it was called. He had quite a bit of recovery from it and it was a bit sort of clunky, but they're taking that away. So, you know, you're dealing now with a command grab character that's got a teleport, which is invincible after frame 3, that's got better mobility, good auto combo. I think Janemba's legitimately on the pick screen now. No fuzzies anymore. I think Janemba's actually a good character. And last but, oh no, not last but, second to last, Gogeta, really not much change. They've just made his combos better so he can link heavy after a little hit stun scaling. Same thing with Trunks, and that's it. Can't do multiple things in the same combo again, just to avoid huge damage combos from existing, things like that. They just end them before it gets too crazy, and they've buffed the damage on his down heavy in the air, so that if he's doing like a 2H and then does an air series, he's not doing like ultimately terrible damage, which he currently gets. It'll do slightly more. Then Broly, again, really not too much to say, although his 2L has been probably buffed to be the best. This is 6 frames. It's probably the best attack in the game now. 3. This is probably the best normal in the game. It puts him forward. It says increased damage judgment. It may be that it's scaled even more than it already is, or maybe they've unscaled it. Who knows? But ultimately, it's going to be his go-to thing to get out of pressure. He can now contest with it. He's already a pretty decent character, so that's just going to make him even better. And then they've just made other things a little bit more better, and his assist is slightly faster. So all in all, I think it's actually a really good patch. Like this is the kind of patch that most people want to see in their games. Every character has been looked at in some kind of way. I think the players that are going to be the most hard done by are the Videl players. Obviously, we won't know till we actually get our hands on her, because she could be insane for all we know. But from what it stands, she's kind of the same, and she was always meh. Blue Vegeta players are probably not too happy. Beerus players might have wanted a bit more, but that's it really. 16 players as well. But all the other characters, if you play these characters, you're happy. The top tiers got nerfed for the most part. Like Goku, I'm not gonna have to go into ranked anymore, and every single game is 2 characters plus Goku. It might be a different form of Goku, but at least it's not this form of Goku, because they're gonna pick him now, and he's a good character, right? He's still gonna have all these damage and all that lot, but they're gonna hit 2M and they're gonna be sad. So, and with all the extra assists that are involved in the game now, why would you pick him? You might see him. I don't know. I don't see why you'd pick him anymore. If that makes any sense. Maybe he's still good enough. Universal changes are all pretty good. They didn't go overboard with the attack power up, and you know, they can always change this if they feel like, oh, you've brought this mechanic in but it's done nothing, like nobody's making any comebacks. They might up the damage on the power up. They could take it to 20% from 10, or they could give you 2 more energy gauges, or they could give you no blue recovery health and things like that. So there's all sorts of things in here that are interesting. My verdict for the patch is the best. I'll give you my top 5 from the patch notes, because it's always juicy to have hot takes. Now, this is better. I'm not seeing all the assists, but for me, top 5, season 3, Ginyu, Frieza, Adult Gohan. That's 3. Ginyu, Frieza, Adult Gohan, 21. Broly. I think post patch, that's top 5, and then let's go to top 10 because I can. Vegeta and Goku absolutely are in there. If 17, nah, not 17. GT Goku. Yeah, GT Goku, Bardock, Goku Black. I think I'm on like 9 or something, and then like Yamcha, and then just outside of that you'll have Kid Buu and all that. It's just balanced, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's pretty balanced. As it's looking right now, it's hard to see characters that are bad. They've done it to a point where they've kept the originality of all the characters, and they've done it. But like Piccolo loses a lot, but he's still gonna have Hell Zone. Ice is cool. You really think about it, it's really cool. They've neutered a lot of the characters, but they've always kept what's good about them good, you know? Like, I was expecting to see Kid Buu nerfs on his 2M, but he still got it. But they nerfed the aerial stuff. So there's always going to be something about a character that bugs you, like, oh my god, that's so strong, that's so annoying. But anyway, just to wrap this up now, because I've been going on almost an hour. Ginyu, by far the most buffed character. Ginyu by far, and everyone else really. Ginyu and Krillin, most buffed characters, and then everyone else, it's quality of life changes or very small combo route changes just to make them better. Characters that are sleeper, that aren't necessarily the best or even top 5, but are much better than people can give it, just because of the universal system as well and how it works. TN for sure. You might see a lot of TN as it goes forward. You won't see it the first week, But as it goes on and people realise, hang on a minute, I do more damage now, he's got the best damage in the game, and I can just splurge all this meter out on all these overhead and low specials and stuff, I think TN might be good. So I'm going to be definitely looking into TN myself, but 21's Bay. And again, we don't, they always sneak stealth nerfs in, right? You don't know this if you follow it, but they always sneak stealth nerfs in. So whatever these patch notes say, there'll be more, just small things they hope people don't notice. So I'm hoping she keeps her level 3 okay, because I can do it really well on both sides, but I just don't think it will be there. I think it's going to be removed. So far it's 21 with like Blue Vegeta, maybe TN. I'll have a look at 16. Majin Buu's in there, Gotenks is in there, Frieza. So I've got so many characters I can play. What a great game. What a great game. I can play Broly, I can play Vegito, I can play Base Goku. Like, this is wild. It's actually wild how many characters you can pick now. It's like a new game. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. If you've lasted till this point, thank you very, very much for listening. Hit the like and please subscribe. It helps me a ton. And I'll see you guys next time.